Okay, so I've been trying to figure out how to do and start this video series for some time. And I guess sometimes there is no better way to do it but then to do it. So over the Christmas holiday, my grandmother, who I was very close to, passed away. She passed away from the effects of Alzheimer's, dementia, and she was 96 years old, which is amazing. I mean, she lived a full, wonderful life, and that's really cool. Uh, she was born in Jamaica, and we'll be sending her back home to be buried. So, as it turns out, I will be heading to Jamaica in a little bit to attend that funeral. But I'm a travel channel. that's what I do. Me and the kids, we do travel stuff. When we're not traveling internationally, we're traveling around here, checking things out, doing things. That was the whole point of rebanding into the Wander Crew. So it's, I guess, fitting that the first thing that the Wander Crew is going to be doing, at least me as part of as part of the Wander Crew, will be going on a last minute trip. And I think that the most authentic and real thing that I can do is to bring you guys along. So I don't know exactly how this is going to work out. I don't know exactly. I mean, if you've been watching this channel, you know that I've tried to keep it all upbeat and happy and so on and so forth. And I'm still going to try and do that with this video series, and it's going to be a series. I'll do a bunch of stuff in there, but I just wanted to start this video by saying hi. I'm Mike with the Wander Crew, and I'm going to be going to Jamaica. So what am I going to do in this series? I think I'm going to talk about booking last minute travel, since I have to do that, and I think that'll be useful. Also, I'm in a situation where my children are supposed to be with me when I have to travel, so I have to deal with childcare, what I'm going to do with that, how I'm going to do. I've got to deal with my puppy there and get him taken care of all within the next little bit. So I'll talk about a bunch about that stuff, I think, and then also I'll just bring you guys along. I'll film the trip like I would any other trip, give hints and tips and tricks and all that kind of stuff while I'm there. I don't know if I'll put any of the funeral in there, but I mean, it's a cultural thing, so we'll see. I mean, I'm gonna try and be sensitive about this whole thing, but that is what's gonna happen. So I guess let's start with the whole concept of booking the last minute flights. So we'll head over to the office and we'll look and see what we can get so we can book the flights to Jamaica. Okay, so we are on the web, and this part's probably going to be pretty heavily cut because obviously this takes a fair amount of time. But let's look and see what we can find. So I am going to block out the dates that I'm going to be traveling, but it is going to be over a weekend. I'm going to be leaving on a Friday and returning probably on a Monday, just because I've got work and such like that. So looking at it here, I'm going to start with Expedia, actually. And yeah, I've got a couple of go-to sites when I am looking for travel. One of them obviously is Expedia. That's the site we're on, and we'll compare flights again on Google Flights, and we'll probably check out Skyscanner as well. It's fantastic for flexible dates, or seeing if flying out a day earlier will save you some money. So it looks like we've got some good deals here, but let's check and see what it gets to what it gets when we go to Google Flights. Okay, so we're going from Calgary. I'm doing Montego Bay. Put in my departure and my return. And it looks like we're finding more or less the same thing. Now, here's the thing that you have to be careful of. Often you'll see these really cheap flights, but I'm willing to bet if I check this, that it is going to tell me that I won't have carry-on or something like that. So yeah, you'll see this is a cheap flight. It's got a 12-hour layover, so I wouldn't be arriving until the next day. That's not particularly ideal, but this is what I do. I go between Expedia, Google Flights. Let's check Skyscanner as well. Here we are at Skyscanner, so let's add our information here. So from Calgary to Montego Bay, departure date again. So you see it's bringing up my deals here. I have it set to 1 or 2 stops. Usually I don't like to do more than 2 stops because then the stops tend to get really close together and you have to like rush from plane to plane and such like that. It's not ideal. So you can see that the deals that are being found are pretty consistent. One thing that you can do as well is for last minute deals, look on the airline's website directly. Every once in a while, there's some really good deals on there as well. So let's at least check out WestJet. All right, so return trip from Calgary to Jamaica. All right, so this one looks like it has me on the red eye, probably has 1 stop. Yeah, in Toronto. Let's look at that flight. So yeah, Calgary to Toronto. There's a 3-hour layover in Toronto, and then leaving from Toronto and arriving in Jamaica at about just about 2 o'clock. Okay. And of course, in the premium cabin, you only have a snack and food for purchase. So that's not awful. So let's take a look at that and see how the price goes up. If you want the most flexible, then it's going to be $6.95. That gives you your personal item, your carry-on, your checked bag included, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be $604 per person if you want just their economy, which is 1 personal item and carry-on. And that's all I need, so I'm going to select that one. And then on the way back, it looks like if I leave Montego Bay at just about 3 o'clock, I'll be back in Calgary, and this is a direct flight. That's kind of nice. So let's take a look at that. Again, I only need the economy fare, so I'm not going with the ultra basic. And when you see the prices here, you see $447. That $447 is actually for the economy, the ultra basic fare. So no carry-on, you get 1 personal item, no changes or cancellation, you're the last aboard, seat selection at a higher fee, check bags for a higher fee, no rewards point. Like, this is just a bare bones, get on the plane like it's a bus. And if that's what you want to do, cool. In this situation, I don't think I want to be, the last aboard and all this kind of stuff. I want to be able to get on the plane, be comfortable, at least marginally comfortable. I'll probably pay for the seat selection because I want to know where I'm going to be sitting. Your boy got to have a window seat so I can get you the sweet, sweet views, especially when we're landing in Jamaica. It's going to be a sweet looking landing. So definitely want to do this. I'm going to select the economy fare on this. So let's see what the total is. So you can see here the total on WestJet is $1,100. So that's not really ideal. I think I've got a better deal on probably through Expedia. It's probably the one that I'm going to end up going through in this case. But there you have it. That is the flight looking experience. I'm going to go through the booking process now, just choosing the flights and my amenities. But you can kind of see how it works and what I'm doing when I'm looking for a cheaper flight. Something to mention as well is if you do have points, obviously those are things that you're going to use. If you're on the last minute and you just don't have points and you have to go through this way, then that's the way you have to do it too. But definitely if you've got points, loyalty points, credit card points, any other points that you've got, definitely give those a try, use those, get yourself the best deal that you can. But the point here is really look at a few different places, see what you can get. We looked through Expedia, we looked on Google Flights, and we looked through Skyscanner to see what we can get. We also looked on WestJet's site, which gave us the most expensive in this case, but hey, who knows? We could have gotten a better deal. In this case, we didn't. So yeah, that's how we're gonna book the flight. I'm just gonna book this up and then we're gonna continue on in the process. So yeah. Okay, so when I was booking this trip, I was kind of focused on finding the best flight, the best deals, the best whatever. And then I realized that some of these airlines actually do what they call a bereavement discount. So if you're going to a funeral or something like that and you are directly related to the person who has died, they will give you a small discount to get you there and back. So I found out that WestJet does that, which is awesome, and that brought down my flight about by 20%. All I had to do was I had to call WestJet directly. You can't book these online or anything like that, but I was able to call WestJet on their number. I'm assuming that Air Canada and other airlines do this as well, but since everybody that I know is going on WestJet, that's what I did. So in the end, I actually didn't book the flight that we had just talked about. I actually ended up getting basically the same deal, but slightly cheaper directly through WestJet. So thank you, WestJet, for having that, and for others who are in the same situation, definitely look at that. Search on your airline's website, type in the keyword bereavement, and they may have something there that can help you out. So that's just a little bit of an update, but still planning on getting the kids dealt with, getting the dog dealt with, and getting lots of other stuff dealt with. So that's going on as well. Oh, so another thing to tell you guys about is just coordinating with people. So lots of people are going to this funeral. My grandmother, of course, she touched a lot of lives, which is awesome and cool. But what ended up happening is one person would book a flight here, one person would book a flight here, and we're all going to the same place. And so a lot of us have ended up on the same flight, but having booked it separately. And I wish I had kind of known this before, because my inkling is, since, you know, there's probably about at least 10 of us that are leaving through Calgary, we probably could have gotten a group fare to go there as well. So definitely something to think about is just making sure you're communicating with people. I know when you're grieving, and this is the thing, everybody in my family right now, we're grieving, our heads are all over the place, nobody's doing that strategic thinking, and that's fine. It is what it is. But if you are ever in this position and you're going, definitely try and have somebody, if you're having to travel, who's going to coordinate things and make sure that everybody gets together. People aren't flying alone. People are going, and if we can get, if you can get group rates or you can get these discounts and such like that, that you have somebody that can do that. Somebody who can coordinate, somebody who can kind of be the quarterback. So I would definitely say that using an app as well, using an app like TripIt where everybody can share their itineraries and stuff like that will definitely help to make sure that nobody's being left behind, nobody's left beyond in the cracks, that nobody's traveling alone, that everybody gets to where they need to be. So that is tip number 2, freebies that have come about in the last 24 hours. But since this is a crazy vlog, which I don't really like doing vlogs, but this is turning into a vlog. This is a vlog. It's a travel vlog, definitely. but wanted to give you those pieces of advice. I'm definitely now, I'm going to be traveling at least with 2 or 3 different people on various legs of this trip. So that's awesome because I'm not going to be by myself, and I'm going to have somebody to talk to and all that kind of stuff as we go. I mean, we're living that shared experience. So we might as well, as we're traveling, live that shared experience together, and definitely makes everything easier for everybody. So on to the rest of doing all of this. But yeah, I want to put that in there and see ya. Okay, another day and another update on getting this trip planned and ready for. And this one is about the kids. Normally, if I was traveling, I would call on my mom and she would watch the kids, or, well, usually it's her. But this time, obviously, that is not an option because she will be at the funeral as well. So I've had to kind of call on my extended list, and my extended list is not very big. One of the things about having gone through a very high conflict separation as I had is that a lot of my friends and such like that, I don't have them anymore. So fortunately, my mom and I were able to come together and find somebody who is not going on the trip and is willing to watch the kids, which is awesome. It's somebody they know and trust, so that's not going to be a big issue. They're going to stay at my mom's place, which is a place that they know and are comfortable in, which is absolutely great. So check that one off the list. But of course, I also have to deal with getting them to and from school on Friday and Monday. And again, fortunately, I have somebody who is willing to do that, make sure they get there. Lunches have to be dealt with. I would recommend, if you're going to be leaving your kids as a single parent, especially, and one of the things with being a single parent is we have our routine. Like, we know exactly how things roll in the morning, who does what, how things are going to go, and that's going to be disrupted when they're here. So for the person, if you're leaving your kids, make sure that the person who's going to be watching them kind of knows a little bit about that structure as well, and is at least willing, at least a little bit, to help them through that transition and making sure that things are as normal as possible for your kids as well. Things like drop-offs and pickups for schools, snack times, if there's a schedule, like my kids have a homework and reading time every day when they're here. Those things happen. Bedtime routines, what time is bedtime, all that kind of stuff. Making sure the person knows, do your kids shower in the morning or in the evening? Don't forget to plan for all the little details, drop-offs, pickups, snack times, what their routines are, bedtimes, if they have a homework or reading times, all that kind of stuff. Because the last thing you want to have is coming home and having horror stories of the kids didn't do this, or they didn't listen to that, or there was misunderstandings about this. So the best way to do that is definitely plan ahead, which is exactly what I'm trying to do. So, kids taken care of. Check, check, and check. And if you're like me and leaving your kids leaves you a bit anxious, and trust me, it leaves me very anxious, just remember this: they are going to be fine. Trust in the people that you know and they know and love you and love them. Sometimes taking a step away actually makes you a better parent in the end, to them, to you. You know the saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder, so that's going to be it. And I am saying this just as much to myself as I am to you out there. Yeah. There will be more updates to come in this, but I think we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, so I think planning is done, and as you've been following and watching this far, first of all, thank you. This is a mess of a video, but we're gonna bring it together. So now, instead of going on a solo trip to Jamaica and meeting people there, It's become kind of a group thing. I'm going to be flying up with at least one other person, possibly a couple others on my flight from Calgary to Toronto, then meeting up with my niece as well from Toronto to Jamaica. So, you know what? That's good. And you know, it kind of feels right. It kind of feels good and better to be traveling with somebody. It's going to give us all something to talk about. We don't have to do this alone, going into a very emotional charged time for us. So, yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah. So, yeah, this trip is deeply personal, and it's going to be a chance for us to celebrate my grandmother's life, which is generally awesome, and I'm really happy for that. And I'm glad that I'm going to get a chance to bring you guys along. And I'm going to do a few videos, like I said. Next video up, we'll go over packing for the trip. We'll also bring you along through the process, so there'll be a vlog style as well. And when we come back, we'll talk a bit more about it as well. That is what this is about. At the end of the day, I run a travel channel, and this is travel. So as messy as it is sometimes, as unideal as it is sometimes, that's where we're at. So anyway, I really appreciate you guys. If you've come to the end, please give this video a like. Definitely subscribe. Those are the things that really help the channel and help me kind of grow the audience, which is very important right now. It shows us that what we're doing is useful to people, and we appreciate that. So do like, do subscribe. If you've got questions or comments, put them in the comment sections below. And until next time, keep exploring. Stuff like that is important to make sure that the person who is that was a mouse. Ugh. Ugh. Just casually sauntering by, do, from under my dishwasher to under my stove. Great. Super. Great. And I mean, there's a trap under my stove, so maybe it's gonna eat some poison and die. Die, you stupid mouse. Hello, dog. Hello. As soon as I start talking, there you are. There you are. As soon as I start talking, there you are. Just to mess things up because you love it. Because you love messing things up. And don't you dare tell people I don't spend enough time with you, because I sure as heck do. We spend all day together, didn't we? Went on a long walk and you got to play with friends and everything. So could you give me a few minutes? Could ya? Could ya?